Fine, put me down for another megacycle.
Well, boss, somewhere in there is our power core. I keep my distance, boss. It could spray you at any moment.
All storage bladders empty. All storage bladders empty.
We can't afford to waste time on every random robot we meet in Metropole.
Is that really the best idea you can come up with, boss? Not gonna happen, boss.
Some kind of track running up the side of the tower. Looks like someone tried shooting the door, but the damage is entirely superficial.
Amateurs.
Anybody home?
You know, boss, I don't think that's ever going to work.
You never know. It's far too high to try climbing. It's far too high to try climbing. Just another floating robot.
Hey Armstrong, top me off, will ya?
Hey, boss, look! That repair bot has a floating helper just like you do.
There's a red, burning, crashed hover bus and a writhing electrical cable. And that's the first thing you notice?
I can't help it. She's beautiful.
Well, you're not getting to her until we deal with this cable. Good old Crispin.
The only thing keeping me from my one true love is that cable, boss.
A crashed hover bus.
So we're gonna fix it up and do something amazing with it, right, boss?
No, it's not our property or our problem. A crashed hover bus. I can't safely grab it. The bus must have snapped the cable on the way down. Given the electricity it's spitting out, I can't get close to it.
Too bad we can't just plug it into the unique.
Crispin, can you fly around the cable and push it off the street?
But didn't you just say it's too dangerous to get close to it?
I'm giving you a chance to impress her, Crispin. Just fly up high enough that you don't get close to the sparks.
Fine.
It's some kind of robot that's...
Not gonna happen, Lampy.
All storage bladders empty.
a floating light pot. It's holding a spool of copper wiring.
It? She? And what is she?
Hey, Crispin, why don't you go talk to her?
What? No way, boss. She's way out of my league.
She's a floating lamp, Crispin. You've never had any trouble with lamps before.
Well, I've never had to talk to one before, boss. Just knock them off ledges. I've got no practice. I've got a feeling I'm gonna regret this, boss, but do you think maybe we should try scrounging in the underworks?
Good old Crispin.
I've never had to talk to a lamp before, boss. I've got no practice.
She's holding his... It looks like he's trying to fix that crashed hover bus. Excuse me.
Can't you see I'm working?
I've said it before, but I'll say it again. You do know this ship is never gonna fly again, right?
You're right about that. This old airing bus could hardly fly to begin with. Still, there might be some parts here that Metromine can use to get another bus up and running. Anyway, what do you want?
Hey, boss, ask him about his helper.
What happened here?
What does it look like? The herring bus's motor gave out and it crashed into the only bridge leading from Main Street to the rest of the city center.
Was anyone on board?
Sure, but they've already been salvaged.
Salvaged, not repaired?
Can't repair without parts. You can't get parts without salvage.
What about building new parts?
Yeah, me and what factory?
What about Factor? Isn't he a factory?
Sure, a decommissioned one. Look, everyone wants to spot bugs, but no one wants to write code. You got a better way to run a city? Go out and build one. Otherwise, get with the program.
You mentioned Metromind.
Yeah, sure. She's in charge of this big circuit board we call Metropole.
What can you tell me about her?
What do I look like? The information kiosk? I want to know what I think. Metromind is the best thing that ever happened in this place.
Really?
Really? You, me, all these other machines grinding about? We're just tools in the toolbox. But Metromind, she's got the master plan. Progress. Got a nice ring to it, too.
So as part of the master plan, crashing buses into roads?
Look, there's plenty of rust to go around, but Metromind's the only one scrubbing. Not her fault that some of the metal's too far gone.
It looks to me like you're the one scrubbing, not Metromind.
Like I said, I'm just a tool in the box. Now, I gotta get back to work.
It looks like he's trying to fix that crashed hover bus.
You again? What do you want?
Since you're so close to her, do you know how I can talk to Metromind?
Ha! Talk to Metromind. Look, Metromind has an entire city to run, but her eyes and ears are everywhere. If she wants to talk to you, she will.
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has big claws and shoots lasers.
Scraper. After the last big cave-in, the two of us worked together on trying to fix the blue line. It's on the simple side, but a hard worker. What about him?
He took something of mine.
Yeah, salvaged it probably. That's what most of us do for Metromind these days.
Stole it.
Hey, you say router, I say router. Anyway, not my problem.
Where can I find Scraper?
Do I look like a tour guide? Piece of advice for you. Don't mess with the code if you can't handle the glitches.
Very profound. Do you know where I can find a power source?
If I did, I'd have salvaged it myself and brought it to the tower.
My friend is curious about your helper.
No, she's just a sidekick factor build. Thousands of them rolled off the assembly line back in the day, but she's probably the only one left. Really not much more than a floating lantern, and headlamps are a lot cheaper.
She says you're not much more than a floating plasma torch.
She's right.
When will the bridge be passable? Soon?
So I'd say something on the order of a month, give or take.
A month?
Give or take.
And there's no other way off Main Street?
Not unless you got a jetpack hiding under that jacket.
Well, at least that narrows our options down, boss.
Goodbye. She's holding a spool.
I've never had to talk. I've got...
We can't afford to waste time on it.
That's... I don't really want to try that.
I'm not here to steal parts. A crashed hover bus.
Sounds like we need to get into the courthouse and talk to Arbiter.
All storage bladders empty.
A rotund robot wearing a monocle.
Ahoy, my dear friend. Oswald Factorbuilt at your service.
He's no more your dear friend than Rex is your creation, you besotted gear oiler.
Oh, don't mind Cornelius. He's been bitter since the first great rolling brownout.
Bitter? Bitter? I'll show you bitter, you backbiting boss.
I think I like these guys, boss.
What's in that building?
Why, Arbiter's Court, of course. Why else would we be here?
I need to see Arbiter.
We all do, my dear friend. But the courthouse is locked, and first come, first served.
Why are you waiting in line?
Justice! I'm here for justice. To prove that I, Cornelius Factorbuilt, created this marvelous machine, Rex. Rex Cornelius built.
Ignore him, my dear friend. Candidly, he is 10-23 flops short of a kilo if you catch my drift. The machine's name is Oswald Built. Rex Oswald Built.
This is over a name? Why not just let Rex decide?
Ridiculous. This is about principle.
This is about pride.
So, boss? Would you fight over me like this?
You could call yourself Crispin Crispian for all I care. As long as you still pull things off ledges for me, that is.
Glad to know I'm loved.
How are you going to decide who gets Rex?
For the law, fool. The law.
Please excuse my brother. He can barely remember pi to the 23rd digit, let alone his manners.
For
I rest my case. Suffice it to say, chap, we await the reopening of the courthouse. Or more precisely, we await a summons from Arbiter who will decide our case.
who will say whose contribution was more important? Who will say, in fact, that my contribution was more important?
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has lots of claws and shoots lasers. It stole something of mine. Have you seen it?
Indeed. The robot you described sounds like Scraper, Metromine's enforcer. Whatever he took is gone forever.
I refuse to accept that.
Oh, he refuses! How delightful.
Do you know where I can find a power source?
Alas, my friend, power is not so abundant in Metropole as it once was.
Nagank Metromine seized it all, seized it, and doles it out. And there's hardly enough to go around now.
Metromine keeps all power sources in the Great Tower where the Council used to meet. If you want to share it, you will need to pay her in megacycles.
Megacycles?
Yes, megacycles, you ninny. CPU cycles, brain power. The kind of power she really wants. Her low-rate processor was made for running trains, not a city.
Could someone else judge your case?
Of whom were you thinking? Metromine, perhaps? Authoritative to be sure, but I fear she would claim Rex for the good of all.
And since the subway schemer
He means Metromine.
shut down our builder Factor, he cannot help either.
What about Horatio?
Who?
Me.
And why should we listen to you?
I've built a robot before, and I have no stake in this.
Yes, well and good, but this is a matter of law and logic. A bit harder than banging together a tin can like your companion. How can we know your reasoning is sound?
What if I could find someone you respect? Someone who would be willing to judge your case?
Well, I suppose there's no harm in looking.
No harm to us, anyway. If you want to waste your time meddling in our affairs, then I suppose it is yours to waste.
Very good then. I am not building the facts of our dispute to your data pouch. If you can find a suitable judge, let us know.
Test me.
An interesting proposition. What do you say, Cornelius?
What do I say? I say that you are a liar and a thief, Oswald. But as to this Horatio, well, as to him, so be it.
Boss, if they make us find 7 lost crystals, I'm quitting.
Shh. Roger. Consider this. At the binomial biennial, 7 robots in the probability circle are gathered for the party.
The what circle is gathered at the what? Is this some kind of vocab test?
I said quiet.
Each robot is either a factor built or a Sternweiler built.
Blasted Sternweilers.
And moreover, each robot is designed with either a quad-core, a linear type, or a multiplex processor architecture.
This is ridiculous!
Pay attention. Factor or Sternweiler. Quad-core, linear type, or multiplex.
Indeed. Now I will tell you 3 things about these probabilities. First, there are more factor-built robots than Sternweiler builds. Second, every linear-type robot was built by factor. Finally, Sternweiler never built a robot with a quad-core.
Now listen. Which of the following statements about the probabilitist circle cannot possibly be true?
Could you repeat the question?
Indeed. At the binomial biennial, 7 robots in the probability circle are gathered for the party. Each robot is either a factor built or a Sternweiler built. And moreover, each robot is designed with either a quad-core, a linear type, or a multiplex processor architecture. Now I will tell you 3 things about these probabilities. First, there are more factor-built robots than Sternweiler builds. Second, every linear-type robot was built by factor. Finally, Sternweiler never built a robot with a quad-core.
Now listen. Which of the following statements about the probabilitist circle cannot possibly be true?
Could you repeat the question?
Indeed. At the binomial biennial, 7 robots in the probability circle are gathered for the party. Each robot is either a factor built or a Sternweiler built. And moreover, each robot is designed with either a quad-core, a linear type, or a multiplex processor architecture. Now I will tell you 3 things about these probabilities. First, there are more factor-built robots than Sternweiler builds. Second, every linear-type robot was built by factor. Finally, Sternweiler never built a robot with a quad-core.
Now listen. Which of the following statements about the probabilitist circle cannot possibly be true?
Could you repeat the question?
Indeed. At the binomial biennial, 7 robots in the probability circle are gathered for the party. Each robot is either a factor built or a Sternweiler built. And moreover, each robot is designed with either a quad-core, a linear type, or a multiplex processor architecture. Now I will tell you 3 things about these probabilities. First, there are more factor-built robots than Sternweiler builds. Second, every linear-type robot was built by factor. Finally, Sternweiler never built a robot with a quad-core.
Now listen. Which of the following statements about the probabilitist circle cannot possibly be true?
Four robots were built by Sternweiler.
Good show.
The preceding facts are unchanged. Now, answer this. If exactly 2 factor-built robots have the same type of processor architecture, then which of the following must be true?
Could you repeat the question?
Indeed. At the binomial biennial, 7 robots in the probability circle are gathered for the party. Each robot is either a factor built or a Sternweiler built. And moreover, each robot is designed with either a quad-core, a linear type, or a multiplex processor architecture. Now I will tell you 3 things about these probabilities. First, there are more factor-built robots than Sternweiler builds. Second, every linear-type robot was built by factor. Finally, Sternweiler never built a robot with a quad-core.
Now, answer this. If exactly 2 factor-built robots have the same type of processor architecture, then which of the following must be true?
4 of the 7 robots have multiplex processors.
Failure? Failure? Clearly you are unfit to charge our case. Now go bother someone else.
Test me.
What do eyes but ask?
Boss, if...
Shh, Roger. And
The what?
each robot and more.
This is...
Hey,
Indeed. Now first, second, fine.
now which is the
4.
Good show.
The preceding facts are unchanged. Now, answer this. If exactly 2 factor-built robots have the same type of processor architecture, then which of the following must be true?
Three of the 7 robots were built by Sternweiler.
Correct. Here is the third question. The facts are still unchanged. Which of the following types of processor architecture might you find in a probabilitist built by Sternweiler?
Any of the 3 types.
Failure? Failure? Clearly, now go.
Test me.
Right. And the
what?
I said.
now first, second, fine.
Now listen, which is
4.
Good show.
the now fix.
4 of...
Now,
Hello? Hello?
I don't think it can hear you, boss.
Test me.
Boss,
Right. And more.
this is...
hey,
Indeed. Now first, second, fine.
now listen, which is
4.
the now
3.
correct. Here, the facts. Which of the following types of processor architecture might you find in a probabilitist built by Sternweiler?
Only quad-core and multiplex.
Failure? Clearly, now go.
Test me.
Eyes but
Boss,
Right. And
the
the
what?
glass.
and moral.
This is...
Pay attention.
Indeed. Now I will tell you 3 things about these probabilitists. First, there are more factor-built robots than Sternweiler does. Second, every linear-type robot was built by factor. Finally, Sternweiler never built a robot with a quad-core.
Now listen. Which of the following statements about the problem?
Good.
Now, if exact.
Three of the...
Correct. Here is the fact. Which of the following types of processor architecture might you find in a probabilitist built by Sternweiler?
Only multiplex.
Well, it seems we underestimated you, my friend. Please, take some time to consider, and let us know when you are ready to hear our arguments.
A complicated floating robot with a spinning antenna on its head. Excuse me.
Sir, my apologies, sir. 187th Legion built. Surly Company. Reporting.
Horatio No-Build, version 5. A pleasure.
Horatio no built, sir? Never heard of any service bot with that designation. Still, it's good to see another Urbanian, sir. After things got foobarred back home, I figured Surly Company was all that was left.
Urbanian? What are you talking about?
Assad. Finally made a friendly and he's as cracked as Primer. No offense, sir, just hoped... Well, never mind that. How can I assist you, sir?
Surly Company? Urbanian? What are you talking about?
Well, sir, I'm not sure quite where to start. I had you figured for one of us, seeing as how you came up as a friendly on my IFF.
I could see you as a member of Surly Company, boss, but as friendly? No.
Zumi's got some mouth on him, huh, sir? Always do those flyboys.
Look, why don't you just give me a quick rundown?
Well, sir, can't see the harm, even if you are a decoy. War's over, after all. It was over before Surly Company even deployed. See, we're Urbanian robots. A long time back, Urbani and Metropol got to fighting over something. Who knows what. The Metropolitans fried our civilians, and Legion told us to strike back. Word was, some big airship of ours was supposed to knock out Metropol's defenses, and we just come in for mop-up. But the Metros took our ship down with their own heavy hitter, some giant named Goliath.
I see.
Anyway, Surly Company was all that was left, so we deployed 200 strong.
What happened then?
Well, it's a long march from Urbani, sir, and most of us broke down on the way. All said and done, the only ones who made it were me, 113th, and a signal bot we call Primer. The rest are all out there in the dunes somewhere.
I'm sorry.
War's war, sir. If it didn't crash hard, they wouldn't have built us in the first place.
If it makes you feel any better, Horatio cut Goliath's finger off.
Well, sir, someone ought to stick a medal on your chest.
Why are you in line?
Seeing as how I'm on the outside now, sir, I figured I had to go pay restitution for shooting up the enemy HQ.
Enemy HQ?
Yes, sir. That big tower in the center of the city.
Okay, so why haven't you paid? It sounds like all of this happened a long time ago.
Years ago, sir. But the courthouse has been locked down the whole time. I figured they'll open it up eventually, and then I can clear my name.
What if it doesn't open?
Well, sir, I know all about hurry up and wait.
Can I try opening that door?
Belay that, sir. The authorities told me that no one goes in till the door opens on its own.
But aren't we on the same side?
Affirmative, sir. But since I'm on CivDiv now, my programming requires me to submit to the local authorities.
What happened to 113th and Primer?
After we got to Metropol, we tried to put up a fight, but couldn't do much. They fried 113, and my rifles jammed. Primer surrendered on our behalf. After dressing us down, they took all my big guns and sold the 113th shell to some scrap dealer. Primer never was the same. He encrypted part of his own logic so he wouldn't have to think about losing the war any longer. Then, he disappeared beneath the city. And me, I came here.
How did the war end?
For Surly Company, it ended when we staggered in here and surrendered. Beyond that, sir, it's all above my pay grade. Truth is, sir, we never even knew what we were fighting for, let alone what the Metropolitans wanted. So I can't say for certain that Metropol won, but I'm pretty sure Urbani lost, what with all the civilians being dead and the army being beaten.
How do you know you even have to pay something?
This seems logical, sir.
What if I could pay your fine for you, or get it canceled?
Well, sir, then I'd be much obliged, and I'd probably just leave town. Can't say that I'd much like being in enemy territory.
And how are we gonna do that, boss?
I'll figure something out. I inspected the damage. All you did was ding the metal.
Well, sir, until someone shows me the law that says I don't have to pay, I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Goodbye.
Over and out, sir.
187th Legion built. There's nothing more to say to him.
There's gotta be someone in this city who can judge Oswald and Cornelius's case.
I am waiting.
A rather simple-looking model. What are you doing here?
Waiting.
For what?
My bus.
I'm pretty sure the bus isn't coming.
It will come.
Your bus is a burning wreck about 2 blocks from here.
It will come. I must go home. Metromind will take me home.
Can I push him off the edge, boss?
No.
I am waiting.
A rather simple-looking model. Bus stop. Buses run every 10 minutes. 10 is crossed out, and 30 is written below it. 30 is crossed out, and 60 is written below it. 60 is crossed out and daily is written below.
Daily minutes? That doesn't make sense.
If it makes you feel better, daily is crossed out and service suspended is written below it. Bus stop. Service suspended.
I am waiting.
I'm ready to hear your arguments.
Excellent, excellent. My dear friend, this is not a difficult case. In the Primordium, it was once said, 10 people have 10 ideas, and 20 idle hands. Wise Horatio. Long years have passed, but the principle remains true. Did Cornelius have the idea for my beloved Rex? I concede he did. But who built him with his own claws and tools? Who hammered and soldered and wired Rex? That would be my humble self. Wise Horatio, a robot's fabronymic has the suffix built, not designed. And Rex is Oswald built, no matter who designed him.
Okay.
It makes a good case, boss.
What about you, Cornelius?
If you're so smart, you can figure this out for yourself. The question isn't what built Rex, but who built him. Your little friend there isn't named Hammer-built or Plasma Torch-built. You call him Horatio-built. Every robot uses tools to build. Oswald was merely a tool with tools. My vision was the creative force. And if you disagree, then you can go and rust in the rain.
What do you think, boss? Who gets to take credit?
No one can take credit. Neither of you could have built Rex without the other, so neither of you can put your name on him. His name is Rex No-Built, version 1.
Outrageous!
Surely, sir, you have misspoken.
No, I have not. In any case, Rex is his own robot. He can make up his own mind.
What fools we were to accept his judgment.
Indeed. Wait!
Well, boss, hats off to you.
It's a fine felt hat. Given its age, it's in remarkable condition. I'm ready.
Wise did but who built him? Who had that Wise and Rex?
Okay.
It makes it...
What about...
The question you little you call every room. Oswald, my fish, and it...
Oswald is right. He's the one who actually built Rex. Anyone can come up with a plan, but it takes years of dedication to see it through. Rex Oswald built is his name.
Outrageous!
Not at all, Cornelius. Horatio is most sensible indeed.
To rust with both you thieves!
My dear friend, I thank you for your considered judgment. Come here, Rex.
Courthouse closed until further notice, pursuant to Civil Ordinance Section 889-B1C. Courthouse closed.
Giddy up.
I'm ready.
X, my dinner, what did, but who has why and Rex?
Okay, Max, what about you?
If you're so, the question isn't you little you call on what I think and if
Cornelius is right. The mind that conceives a robot is the builder, not the hands that put it together. Rex Cornelius built is his name.
Surely, sir, you have misspoken.
No, I have not. You asked me to judge, and I have.
But,
you're smarter than you look, Horatio. Take this as a sign of my appreciation. I've been told the dates to the Primordium itself. Come on, Rex.
It's a silver disc with a faded image embossed on its front. I'm ready to...
excellent, my dear. In the wise did cool, but who will handle that would be wise and Rex.
Okay,
It makes a good...
what about you?
The question, you little you call every road on what I think and if
Neither of you could have built Rex without the other, so neither of you can put your name on him. But you both share a common builder, Factor.
A common denominator, right, boss?
Both of you are Factor builds. Therefore, your robot's name is Rex Factor Built.
Factor, build.
ridiculous. And yet, the name is beyond dispute.
Indeed.
Take this then, as a sign of our appreciation. I've been told the dates to the Primordium itself.
You know, my idea would have been to threaten to cut Rex in half.
You got upset when I cut that fuse box open.
Yeah, but that Rex just rubbed me the wrong way.